lot of us love to hear the ringing of the bells. The ringing of the bells indicates the call for prayer. In the place where I grew up in the Philippines, the cathedral would ring the huge bells located in the middle of the city that could be heard by everyone, 2 times a day, 12 noon and 6 p.m., as a call to everyone to pray the Angelus. If you were to visit a monastery, they would also ring their bells at least 5 or 8 times a day to call the monks for prayer. Even in the midst of their work, the monks would immediately drop whatever they are doing and head to the church to pray if they hear the bells. The different times they ring the bell in the monastery are planned out and are spread out throughout the day in such a way that they have a regular and consistent prayer life. So like the monks, we also need to plan our prayer life. And how do we do that? First, in order to have an established prayer life, you should pray at least 3 times a day. Yes, 3 times a day. One prayer time, which is your main prayer time, and the other 2 are very short times in order to maintain your contact with God during the day and to remind you of His constant presence in your day. The next step is to look at your daily schedule and determine when you can do your main prayer time and when you can insert the other 2 shorter prayer times. The most ideal times of the day would be morning, upon waking up, noontime, during your lunch break, and in the evening, just before you go to bed. So you need to look at your day and ask yourself, am I a morning person? Or am I an evening person? Or am I a noon person? In other words, ask yourself, when do you feel you have the most energy? And then make this time as your main prayer time. Your main prayer time is the longest one, so choose a time wherein you are really free. For starters, I would recommend that your main prayer time be 15 minutes. And as you grow in your prayer life, it can extend to 30 minutes. But our aim really is 1 hour daily. The other shorter prayer times are simpler prayer times, where you can say short prayers like the Angelus, or the morning offering, or even as simple as 1 Our Father, 1 Hail Mary, and 1 Glory Be. In my previous vlog, I mentioned the importance of having your prayer time at the same time of the day and at the same place in order to form the habit of praying. This applies especially to your main prayer time. Now, if you have determined which time of the day will be your main prayer time, you need to set a sacred space or an altar in your home for your prayer time. Traditionally, all Catholic homes have an altar. This is very easy to create by simply setting up a table, putting some religious articles or images, and putting some candles. It could be as simple as this, or it could be as elaborate as this. You can even set aside a small room in your house to make it a small chapel. The importance of the altar or a chapel in your home signifies that you are claiming that the Lord is present in your home, and you are claiming that Jesus rules in your home. Now, if your prayer times are scheduled, they become part of your routine, meaning they become part of the rhythm in your system. For me, I have noticed that every time I miss one of my prayer times, I feel that something is missing because the rhythm has been disrupted. This feeling always draws me back to my prayer time schedule, especially when I'm busy. Establishing a prayer life is hard at first because even taking 15 minutes to pray will be boring or too long. But I found out that the more you do it, the more you get used to it, and when you grow in your prayer life, 1 hour will just go so fast. So when at first you find it difficult, force yourself to do the 15 minutes and be patient with yourself. Then later on, you get used to that 15 minutes and you will be asking for more. In the Gospel of Luke chapter 14, verses 28 to 32, Jesus gives us a parable about the importance of planning. He says, "Suppose one of you wants to build a tower. Won't you first sit down and estimate the cost to see if you have enough money to complete it? And suppose a king is about to go to war against another king. Won't he first sit down and consider whether he is able with 10,000 men to oppose the one coming against him with 20,000? In major decisions in our life, we need to plan. We plan for our career, we plan for our retirement, we even plan when we go on a diet to lose weight. So why shouldn't we also plan our prayer and spiritual life if we deem that these are very important to us? Proverbs chapter 29 verse 18 says, "When there is no plan, the people will perish." Yes, we can never establish our prayer life if we do not plan it.